Visit trimfaya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida.
The locals love it.
No one wants to deal with a plumbing, electrical, or HVAC emergency. It's even worse when you're not sure what it'll cost, when it'll get fixed, or if someone's just selling you something. When you call Hiller, you can trust our experts to actually solve your home's problems quickly. And with true transparency pricing, you know the price you're told is the price you'll actually pay. Book online now at happyhiller.com. Happy you'll be, or the service is free.
Call the Happy Face truck today.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Stand by. On my mark. You survived the workday. Now survive the truth.
Don't you want to have the best 12 teams in college football playing each other?
It's time for the hardest hitting 2 hours on the Panhandle.
I love it. You're coming through. You got it, baby.
Now into the huddle with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz.
It is a joyous day. I love your show.
From the Emerald Coast to the edge of the atmosphere.
You gentlemen lift us up every day.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. The hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. Cause Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the topic. The show hottest wasabi. Better tune in and go watch it. Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even tried, you can't stop it. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share. Right now.
It's Monday, and we are live and local right here. You're tuned in to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for college basketball. That's right, the big one tonight. Coverage starts right after the show at 6 o'clock, and don't forget the tip-offs at 7:30. And Bone Crusher, the Auburn Tigers have won the NIT tournament, and you wrote it down, so I got to say it. It's on the sheet. Auburn wins the NIT. They're the 69th best team in college basketball. That's what it says.
That is not the way to look at it. That is, I mean, they're hot right now. The team finishing the season good, looking poised for next season with their new head coach. Bring it on, War Eagle.
That's right. And the thing is that I know people talk about it, and we talk about the tournament, and we talk about the NIT, but I get it. People are really saturated with the fact that, the Tigers were supposed to make the tournament this year. They didn't. They had a disappointment. Everybody goes through that. When you lose a Hall of Fame coach, Bruce Pearl is a Hall of Fame coach. You know what I mean? I mean, Alabama lost games after Nick Saban. Alabama lost games after Bear Bryant. If Kirby Smart leaves, Georgia's going to lose ball games. I mean, that's just how it works. And so hopefully they'll be able to build it, but they did win it. So there you go. I mean, you know what the thing is, though? Alabama has played in 16 NIT tournaments and has not won one of them. So there you go. Auburn brings home the first NIT tournament championship to the state of Alabama, the first time ever. So there you go. There's some good old trivia, and so all of you Auburn Tiger fans, stick around because there you go. Y'all got it, right?
War Eagle. Yeah, I'm proud of him. Good job, guys.
So either way, in studio today, we are pumped up, and if you want to call in, you can. 850-215-6290. The call and text line is right here. We've got our friend of the show, Jack Patterson's in the building. So glad to have you today, Jack. We are talking about your big-time event, Wrestling Against Cancer, and I've got 4 tickets right here for Saturday, April the 25th, 2026, Bayhaven Charter Academy. The address is 2501 Hawks Landing Boulevard right here in beautiful Panama City. The doors open at 5. Bell time is at 6:30. These are 4 tickets. And you know what? if you want to be you want to have opportunity to go, I'll tell you what, we're going to let Bone Crusher pick the number, but we are going to take caller whatever Bone Crusher says, 850-215-6290. You're going to win a 4-pack of general admission tickets to the Wrestling Against Cancer right here. And so with that being said, Jack, let's talk about it. So this is a benefit for Pamela Clements, and she's a personal friend of yours. Tell us a little bit about Pamela.
She's a good person. She had breast cancer at one time, and it went into remission.
Yeah.
And then lung cancers came back.
Mm-hmm.
So she really needs the help right now.
Yeah. And all the proceeds are going to go to her.
Yes.
That's so good. I mean, and you know how it is. Everybody that's had people with cancer in their family or just wherever, you know, you need all the help you can get, especially during that time. So we're happy to help with this. So what's the night going to be like? Tell us some of the wrestlers. Tell us some of the matches. Give us like what's going to happen that night when you come to the Bayhaven Charter Academy.
Well, when the doors open at 5, Nikita Koloff, a former Georgia Championship Wrestling star back in the day, and at the beginning of WCW before he wasn't there very long in WCW. He was probably a few years in WCW. He was there, and he tag teamed with Dusty Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
He went against Dusty Rhodes. He wrestled against Magnum TA. The Four Horsemen. He wrestled.
Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard,
Ole Anderson,
all those guys.
Yeah, and so he's going around ministering now, and he's going around ministering to people, and he's just going to be there to sign autographs and support, and he's just there to help support the benefit and everything. So he's going to speak a little bit and talk.
Okay, and that starts at 5:00. Okay.
Anytime during the show from 5 to doors open, or anytime after he's there.
I got you. And Nikita Koloff, if you look at Nikita Koloff, he was the Russian Nightmare. So he was the guy. I mean, he was one of those guys that when you were younger, and which I was at the time, Jack, I'm not sure how old you are, but I'm thinking it's younger than me, or older than me though. But when I was a little kid, those wrestlers, they used to scare us. And I thought he was from Russia for real. And so
Where's he really from?
A Russian Nightmare.
He was actually a Georgia boy.
He's from Georgia. But his character was a Nikita Koloff, the Russian Nightmare.
Around the time that Reagan was in office and all the Russia with America and all that.
Yeah, with Gorbachev. Mikhail Gorbachev they were fighting a little bit.
The Cold War was very epic at that time. So Russia was really had that connotation of enemies and the steel curtain being behind enemy lines. So having a Russian in the ring was a great move.
And that was a great heel. He was a heel for all those years, and people did not like him. They would boo him big time when he came to the ring.
He did turn good at one time to tag with Dusty Rhodes.
Wow.
And he, right after Magnum TA had gotten a bad motorcycle accident, he had turned good to help Dusty Rhodes. And so it's going to be a great night to come and meet him. He was one of my favorites, Nikita Koloff was.
Oh, yeah,
growing
for
up.
sure. Absolutely. He was one.
He came in with his uncle, Ivan Koloff.
Yeah.
So they called him his uncle, Ivan Koloff, which he was a nephew of Ivan Koloff. And it was just a great time back then. And I loved watching the wrestling back then. Rock and Roll Express against the Rock and Roll Express and everything.
Yeah, and they would come out, and they were the the Russian tag team, so everybody was against them, obviously. And then obviously he would fight against Flair and all those guys as well. So that was a pretty crazy time. But let's talk about some of the guys that you got coming in, Jack.
Well, we're going to have a big battle royal for Maria and Love, Dennis Love Battle Royal. I've done this ever since the cancer event has been going on every year.
And this is the 6th one, right? Or how many?
11th.
11?
Number 11.
Number 11 on the cancer, proceeds going to the cancer. So, Jack, this, guys, when you think about, wrestling and what this takes to be put on, and you guys aren't doing this for profit. You're doing this out of the goodness of your heart to good entertainment. Plus, helping someone with cancer. That's just so commendable and just awesome that they would do something like this. So, Jack, keep going. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting you.
Well, I started this when my sister got cancer. And then I wanted to continue it on because I just felt like in my heart that I wanted to continue on to help people. So I continued it. And so, but we're going to have this big battle royal. The winner gets this plaque every year. Whoever the winner of the battle royal gets the
I'm thinking
plaque.
of, Bone Crusher, and I keep interrupting you. I'm so sorry.
That's
I mean, every time he starts talking, I can't keep my mouth shut because
me
I
to
get
a
so excited, man, when I think about wrestling. And I'm, my brain is saying, is there a chance that if I get in this battle royal that I could win? You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking in my mind, I'm still, I just turned 49 yesterday, and I'm not 50 yet, so I'm holding on to my 40s, but I'm really feeling like maybe I should get in this battle royal, but I don't know. But keep going.
But, yeah. And then
Jack,
we're going to have
hey, Jack, he hasn't met the Nelsonizer. He hasn't met Cali Man. He hasn't met these guys that would rip his head right off.
I haven't.
They're
I
going to
haven't.
I dare you to get in
They're
that
probably
ring.
going to be coming on the show when we get to come back. Hopefully, we get to come back.
Yeah, I'm getting.
They know
you're
what
making
you're
me scared
saying.
a little bit.
You're going to have to run and hide.
All right, Jack, go ahead.
Then we're going to have Max Xander against Chris Ford. These are two good guys. Have you never seen this Max Xander wrestle before? But the guy he's wrestling, Chris Ford, has known him for years. Well, they're not say years, but they're younger guys. But they're going to be there just to have a good match and just to support Pam. And then we're going to have it's an open challenge match for the Florida Heavyweight Championship. Chief Little Bear, the champion, versus, it's going to be an open challenge. Anyway, you won't find out till that night when you show up who's going to be the challenger.
Yeah, I kind of know who he is, I think. His name starts with a P and ends with a W. I'm telling you, I want that championship belt. I might wrestle in every match. I'm ready. I'm getting pumped up about this. I'm ready I might do some push-ups tonight when I get home.
Jax meets people like you every day. Those wrestlers are going to eat you for lunch, son.
I'm ready. All right, go ahead, Jack.
Then we have a ladies' match. It's going to be Vira Lestrange versus Audrey Allen. They're one of them's from Pensacola area, Mobile area, Pensacola. And Audrey Allen's from Atlanta. She's going to be coming down. She wrestles for the Guardians Legacy, which is on every first Saturday of every month. Matter of fact, she was just here this past Saturday night.
That's awesome.
Then they want to have Exceptional Hickman, and Hunter Hendricks is going to be going against Preston Veston and Nelsonizer.
Oh, that's the Nelsonizer, the guy you were just talking about. So these guys are pretty tough.
He's legit, man. He looks the part. He talks the part. He walks the part. He is the part.
Yeah. Well, maybe I won't wrestle him.
You might want to try that ladies match.
I might do that ladies match. I'm thinking about it.
That would be fun now.
And then there's going to be a pole match for the ESPN 104.3 championship. Right.
That's a championship belt right now. I'm holding it. So if you look at this belt, it's pretty cool. It's got the ESPN logo on it. It's got the Northwest Florida Wrestling on the side and the Northwest Florida logos on both sides. Man, this thing is sharp.
Legit. And,
it's got weight to it and everything. Man, I'll tell you what, it's got the American flag on it. And I'll tell you what, man, I'm excited about this. This could be something that I would be interested. I'm
you are
excited.
Right now. You are the ESPN champion.
I'm the champion.
Put that belt on. We'll see how long you can wear that
I tell
before
you, I'm
someone
holding
takes it
it
right
above
off
my
you.
head right now because I feel like when I was a little kid, I used to love wanting to be a part of wrestling. And so as I am the Northwest Florida champion right now, as I'm saying this, as I got my belt on my shoulder, I'll tell you what, I'm going to challenge any of those guys. I don't care what their names are. I'm just telling you that I'm going to be bringing the heat when it comes April the 25th. So they better get ready because you know what? I'm gonna say my prayers. I'm going to eat my vitamins. I'm going to do my push-ups. And I'm probably going to be ready. So, we're going to have this. It's going to be up for grabs. And you know what? To be the man, you got to beat the man. And so I'm just telling you, the championship is going to go right here through ESPN Northwest Florida. But either way, go ahead, Jack.
Yep.
Keep going.
But in a pole match, it's going to be a guy named Golden Spirit. He's kind of up and newcomer. He's been wrestling probably a year or two. Domenico, he's been wrestling probably about the same amount of time, I believe. Caden Albright and Aaron Dalton. They're four up-and-coming stars.
Yeah.
That's going to be battling for that belt right there, and it's going to be on a pole match. Whoever grabs it off the pole is the winner.
Oh, man. And you know what? A lot of the up-and-coming guys, they start out in these lower-level wrestling companies. And so, you might be coming to watch, and you might see a guy that could be in the WWE in the next few years, could be in some of the other ones that come on TV. So you never know when these guys get to going where they're going to go after they go here.
Absolutely, man.
And we're having another women's match.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be J.C. Black. She calls herself the Jack of all trades.
Okay, that's good.
We're going to have another lady. It's going to be against Jody. Just Jody's her name. She's wrestled here on Saturday nights over here, first Saturday on the Guardians Legacy. She's been there. Against Aaliyah James. She has wrestled on Ring of Honor, AEW, NXT UK. I'm not for sure if she's been on the regular NXT or not. I know she has been in NXT UK.
Yeah.
So she's going to be there that night.
That's awesome.
From WWE. She's been on Ring of Honor and all that. But now she's on the independent scene, wrestling around everywhere.
And I'll tell you, and when I say this, I'm serious that a lot of the guys that go to the WWE, they get on these independent runs and wrestle in these lower-level companies, and it's not surprising that they make it to the big time. It's just it's pretty awesome.
And then we're going to have a Street Bandit and Chuck Diamond versus Kelly Clark, which is an up-and-coming star, and he wrestles all around the area.
Oh, yeah, we know Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly Clark's been on here before.
Yeah, we've seen him start off, and look at him now.
Yeah.
He's a major force now.
Wow.
And he's going to have a mystery partner. So you'll have to be there to find out who that is.
Okay, so there's a lot of mystery. There's a lot of wondering, a lot of question marks going on here. It's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens.
And the main event that night is going to be Cali Man defending the Wrestling Against Cancer Championship against a local guy that used to live here. He lives in Tennessee now, Mr. 850 Donnie B.
Oh, man.
Come on, Donnie B.
850 Donnie B and Cali Man. That sounds like an awesome event. I'm telling you, I'm excited about it. And you know what? Jeff's not here. He's on vacation. He's going to be joining up here in a moment. He's going to call in. But I'll tell you this, at the end of the day, me and Jeff's going to be there, and I'm pretty sure I think I can talk Jeff into getting in that ring. And maybe we can do something, a little tag team action or something. And you never know. You never know who's going to be the question mark, and to see how these guys respond. Because I'm telling you, if I start doing my push-ups, I might be ready.
Jack is laughing. He knows. If he had a nickel for every guy who thinks they could step in the ring, he'd have a pocket full of nickels. That's right.
I don't know, the last one that hosted this show got slammed around by Cali Man before.
Oh, man.
Well, you know what? Cali Man's got a big mouth. If his talent was half as big as his mouth, he might go on to the big time.
Oh, I'll tell you what, there's some good wrestling going on. It's going to be awesome. So it looks like about 9 wrestling events that night. Not only that, but also Nikita Koloff, the Russian Nightmare. And you know what? We'll go ahead and give these away. If you want to go and be a part of it, we're going to give away 4 tickets right now. You can call in 850-215-6290. We will take the first caller that calls in, and Bone Crusher will get all the information from you. And, it's Wrestling Against Cancer, Saturday, April the 25th, 2026, over in Bay Haven Charter Academy. That's 2501 Hawks Landing Boulevard in Panama City, Florida. The doors open at 5 o'clock. Bell time's at 6:30. If you want to get front row tickets, they're $20. If you want to go second row, it's $15. General admission is what we're getting. We're giving you opportunity to go right now. Kids age 5 and under are free of charge. So if you want to see these guys wrestling, if you want to come and be a part, I got 4 tickets for you right here. You can call the number 850-215-6290. The belt is with me right now, and I'm telling you, if you look at it and you see it, this is the real deal. And you know what? I'm holding it because I'm the champion today, and that's just how it's going to be.
Enjoy it while you can.
I'm going to enjoy it while I can, but, when I get in there, they may have to, they may have to try to sign me to a contract or something. They might see all the big-time opportunities that I bring to the wrestling empire. But, Jack, you know what? I just want to say on a serious note, I appreciate all that you do for these cancer patients, these people that need help, and it takes a lot to organize these events. I mean, realistically, you reached out to all these guys to get them coming, and you started this from ground zero, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. I did.
And that's so commendable, and it's just an awesome thing that you're doing, and I appreciate all that you're doing. And you know what? There's a special place for people that do that, and we're going to have you and some of these wrestlers come on as the event gets closer. But, guys, if you are available to go Saturday, April the 25th, over at the Bay Haven Charter Academy, it's going to be an awesome thing. And do we have someone on the line, Jack? Bone Crusher?
Yeah, we do have a caller in. She wants the tickets. She's demanding the tickets.
All right. Well, how are you today? Who am I speaking with?
I am fine. I am Mr. Patterson's mom, and I'm proud I won the ticket.
All right. Well, you know what? She got them. There's 4 of them right here, so you'll get to see me. I won't be wearing the latex or the spandex, but I'll be wearing regular clothes. But I'm going to try to win this championship belt, Miss Patterson.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much. Bone Crusher will keep you on the line and keep you going. So, Jack, we appreciate you coming on today, man. And you know what? I appreciate all that you do for everyone. And if you want to say one more thing, go ahead.
We have 13 front row seats left.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to be on the front row, you can get them now at Venmo, Jack at symbol, capital JACK dash capital PATTERSON dash 57.
There we go. All right, Jack. Well, we appreciate you doing it. And like I said, it's going to be a great event. We're going to have the wrestlers come on here in a couple of weeks, right before or the week of, and it's going to be an exciting time. Great atmosphere for the families, for the kids as well. It's going to be a clean environment. Will there be food there? Will there be a concession stand?
Bay Haven Charter Academy is probably going to be doing the concession to help out one of their organizations.
All right. Well, that sounds fantastic. So it's going to be a food. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of entertainment. And like I said, we're going to probably be there with Jeffrey getting thrown, picked up, and slammed on his back. But either way, we appreciate you coming on, Jack. When we come back, we're going to have some talk about the NCAA Final Four. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Taking your hot takes, rants, and takedowns. Let's hear it on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the 2026 NCAA Men's College Basketball Championship tonight. The Michigan Wolverines versus the UConn Huskies. Tosses it up. It's Michigan's elite offense, averaging over 90 points a game in the tournament, versus the experienced Huskies, who seek their 3rd title in 4 years. Coverage coming up at 6, tip-off 7:50 on your home for college basketball.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Anna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Monday. Lightly sprinkling the remainder of the day with a wind at 15 miles per hour out of the north-northeast and 67. Tonight, look for a variety of some clouds and light sprinkles with a temperature near 59. Tomorrow, a high around 76 and some sun. Wednesday, hot with a high of 73 and very light showers. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
You've been low-key thinking about dropping a podcast. Well, now is the time to start, brah. Sports, politics, finance, science, health, real estate, music, interviews, surfing, conspiracy theories, or alien abductions. Ready to main character your own content? We can make it happen with Turnkey Podcast Productions from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Our local, modern, state-of-the-art multimedia recording studio is now available for booking, starting at just $100 an episode. Take your fandom to the next level. For more information, text the keyword studio to 850-215-6290. Text studio to 850-215-6290. Text studio 215-6290 or jam over to ESPNPC.com. Bruh.
Live, local, and now worldwide. The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. Serving the universe at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the NCAA College Basketball National Championship, which starts right after the show. 6 o'clock is the coverage. Tip-off is at 7:30. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290. Our call and text line is open and ready to go. Man, you know what? I'm so excited for that wrestling event. It just makes you feel good when you do something good like that, and that's one of those things that is very good. So go out, be a part of that. We're going to be giving away tickets all the way up until the event. They're going to have T-shirts there. It's going to be an exciting time, but either way, I'm pumped up about it. And don't forget, today's microphone is being sponsored by Humbert Diesel and Auto Repair, 1504 County Road 390, Lynn Haven, Florida. 850-630-0766. Ty and the guys over there at Humbert Diesel do awesome work. And you know what? They take care of your diesel trucks. So go ahead. If you got any problems with those diesels, you know where to go. Humbert Diesel and Auto Repair, 1504 County Road 390 in Lynn Haven. We're going to go ahead and go to the text line, actually to the phone line. And we got Jeffrey on the line. Jeffrey, world traveler, how you doing today, my friend?
Doing pretty good.
How's the trip? How's it going down there in Louisiana? Is it warm? Is it cold? What's happening over there?
There's a chill in the air, and that's very unusual for this time of year.
Yeah, well, it's cold here. You better have a jacket on if you go outside today here. So I don't know what's going on. I think some of our I think Kentucky is on spring break, and I think they brought some of the weather down with them. So it's a little bit chilly. It's a little bit rainy, but I think tomorrow is when it all clears up. So how's it going? How long you been there? Have you done anything fun down there?
No, not really.
Oh, my gosh.
What have you eaten so far, Jeff?
Oh, you know you ate some stuff.
Oh, no, I just went out to breakfast, had a traditional, country breakfast with country fried steak, eggs, hash browns, pancakes, the whole works.
Is all of the family and all of your high school teammates and all your college frat brothers, have they contacted you knowing you're down in Louisiana?
Nah, not really. I'm just kind of chilling. My daughter's here, and she's about to go to Europe in a week, so that will be her first trip with her passport.
Well, that's really cool. So let's get into it a little bit. Let's talk about the Final Four games. You had UConn and the team that everybody could not wait to see if they were going to upset them. We talked about it. Thank God we don't have a Michigan-Illinois championship. So what did you think about the UConn-Illinois game?
I don't even know what to say about it. I know there was a talk before the game about the blueprint of Illinois and them having so many Europeans, and they've already played professionally over there in Europe. And it really didn't, it was one of those things where I was waiting for Illinois to lose a game. And as soon as they beat Houston, who looked lackluster in that, I thought, well, shoot, now they're going to catch Iowa or Nebraska. And I said they could slip by them and get right to the Final Four. And, with them eliminating Florida, it kind of led a path for Illinois. Illinois was lucky to be here. I still absolutely do not count them as a top 4. I even question if they're a top 8 team.
Wow.
And UConn was proven. I mean, they beat Duke. They got lucky there, I know, but that bracket was not easy. St. John's included. Michigan State also. You keep on talking about coaching. And, UConn, they put down a veteran coach. Hurley has not been around as long as Izzo. And so, UConn kind of proved themselves as probably the second hardest route to get to where they're getting. And so, I don't know, UConn, they're big, they're physical. I know the Illinois has a lot of tall guys.
Yeah.
But they just didn't impress me. I don't mean to say there's some questionable calls. There was, but, it wasn't really that big of a defining thing in it. UConn was simply the better team.
Yeah, and as you look onto it, not that Illinois' coach wasn't good, but let's just give credit where credit's due. Hurley knows how to coach, man. And, I mean, you look at what St. John's did against them and beating them by 20 early on and then beating them in the conference championship. But then the committee still gave, UConn credit and allowed them to be the number 2 seed instead of St. John's. So, I mean, do you think that was the whole thing behind it, is that they just said that, Hurley's going to pull off miracles. They know he's going to do good. UConn travels well, so we're going to give them a 2 seed, and we're going to put them up there with Duke, and they're going to sell out, and they're going to be, a big deal for money because, seeding matters, but it also they're trying to get some big-time matchups so that they can sell more tickets.
Yeah, and then just to think that St. John's was a 5, Kansas was a 4.
Yes.
I mean, that little East was a beast, and we knew it from the get-go. And, it didn't dawn them because they just got to take it one game by one game by one game. And how many people picked Michigan State in their brackets? I mean, and Duke to the Final Four,
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about Illinois being the outsider, but it's not that UConn was disrespected. It was just that everybody knew what their path was, and it was not going to be easy. And, yeah, kudos to Hurley. I'm beginning to wonder if this is like a trend for these coaches to have that East Coast edge, because now Malone's being picked for UNC, and he's from New York City.
Yeah. Do you think that Hurley will just continue to do what he does? Because it seems like – obviously, the game is changing. The NIL is changing college basketball. But it just seems like Hurley loves coaching in college. Could you see him being like an NBA coach where they just kind of stand on the sideline and just kind of watch?
No. And what's even more astounding is he's never gotten a technical in his career.
Oh, wow. I thought for sure he was going to get one the other night, but the game had already ended where he headbutted. He didn't headbutt him, but he just put his neck or his head up against the other ref, in which, I was very surprised when we talk about that. You do know that referee was not allowed to ref in the Final Four or the championship due to him, looking like he almost was laughing that him and Hurley come head to head.
Wow.
Yeah, so he lost some money on that one.
Well, I mean, we've said it. What, UConn's like the 7th blue blood? They're the newcomer to the whole blue blood conversation, and three title games. Not that they've won this year, because we're not counting that. 3 title games in 4 years is, significant. I think Duke has done that, maybe. I believe they have. But really, it's unbelievable. And is UConn a desirable destination as far as recruits go?
No, they can't be, right?
I don't know. It's certainly looking like it. And is it because he gets his players to the championship game like Gino Auriemma for the women's side?
Yeah. When you think of UConn, they do spend the money. We had Coach Blue here the other day, and he was talking about how that, colleges are starting to really spend the money. And if you look at it, UConn is one of the only ones that spends more money on basketball than they do on their football program. And obviously you got way less people on your basketball team than you do your football team. So it's just a really big deal with UConn. And, I mean, like you said, you've always been the landscape guy. You've always been the guy that talks about the buildings and all of that. I've never been to the University of Connecticut. But I just can't believe that there's any, only thing that I've ever thought that good come out of Connecticut is this the home of ESPN, right?
Yeah, you're right about that.
So, I mean, really, I guess, can we go ahead and start putting Hurley in the conversation as being a legend?
If he wins this one, he is a legend. He's locked down for it. 3 out of 4, yeah. He's a legend.
Because he's won 2, and, he's always been overshadowed because his playing career was not great. It was okay. He played at Seton Hall. But when you look at it, when you say the name Hurley, everybody always goes Bobby first because Bobby had the illustrious career at Duke. But now, he's turned out to be way better of a coach than Bobby was because Bobby just got fired by Arizona State.
Yeah, and he was in the shadows. He wasn't even at the big school in that state for basketball. UConn doesn't have any competition, really. And it being at the doorstep of New York City, I'm just wondering what kind of NIL money they get.
Yeah, probably a lot. Do you think he'll pass John Calhoun, or is it Jim Calhoun as being, the greatest UConn coach ever? Because we're just, obviously we're talking about the game, tonight, but you're talking about if, for the next 5 or 6 years, is he going to consistently keep getting his teams into the tournament like this? That's got to be, it's got to be something said about him passing Calhoun soon.
Yeah, and think about, they're a 2 seed. They were in the same bracket with Duke. I'm not saying Duke was the second or the third best team in the nation, but everybody pretty much agreed they were the second or third best coming into this tournament. And they were respected, even though they had a bunch of freshmen. They're doing this as a 2 seed. It's not like this was expected. So, I don't know, man. I think he's going to exceed what Calhoun accomplished in a tighter time frame. And it's astonishing, and I'm shocked and surprised this has even happened.
And you think about this UConn team, they were just the number 2 seed, but to me, they were like all year, they were like 6, 7, 8 best team. There were times where Houston, if you would have asked us during the year, who's better, Houston or UConn, we'd have said no doubt Houston's better. If you'd have asked us at the beginning of season, after maybe about the first 20 games, you said, is Texas Tech better than UConn? Absolutely. If you'd have said, is Iowa State better than UConn? Absolutely. Is Nebraska better than? Maybe, because we didn't really know about Nebraska. They were undefeated. Even Illinois, once they figured it out and how they went on their run, it would have been like UConn was like 10 or 11. Florida was, if you'd have said, is Florida better than UConn? Absolutely. Michigan stayed good. Arizona stayed good. But I'm just so surprised of how, it's just like what you said, how they got here, how they really never were looked at as a, contender, honestly, because everybody knew that it was going to either be St. John's or it's just like me. I picked Michigan State to beat them. So, and they definitely didn't, nobody really thought that UConn was going to beat Duke.
Yeah, I think there might have been one bracket that we collected that had UConn in the final. And I think there was somebody who had Michigan State. Otherwise, Duke was a runaway in that region. And just think, you talk about coaching, but Izzo, that kind of lends me to where I wanted to pick Michigan State, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I did. I picked them. I thought for sure, because this year, if you watch UConn, again, I talk about it, and this isn't anything to throw shade on, but, they lost by 20 points to St. John's. They didn't even win their conference in the regular season nor in the tournament. So, but they did respect by putting a UConn at number 2 seed.
Yeah, but the thing was that now, before the bracket was made, before Selection Sunday, there was a time, probably about a week and a half before Selection Sunday, where everyone was saying, well, can UConn get – I'm sorry, was it UConn? Yeah, it was UConn. Can UConn get – are they the fourth best team in the nation? Because that's what they were ranked. Can they get the last number 1 seed, or is number 5 or whatever, number 6, Florida, going to steal it from them? So that meant it was UConn's to lose.
Yeah.
And before Selection Sunday, I said, I think they're going to stick Florida and UConn as the 4th and 5th best team. They're going to stick them in the same bracket and let them fight it out, and then we'll really know who was the 4th number 1 seed for real. And to be honest with you, I mean, UConn's route was hard because they had to go through Duke and Michigan State instead. And they proved that they belong there, and now they're in the championship game. And where's Florida? You know, they have a bunch of fans right now that are saying, we should have beat Iowa. We should have beat Iowa 9 out of 10 times. We would have beat Iowa. And it's like, listen, if you can't beat Iowa, you're not even ranked up there with the UConns and the Houstons and the Purdues and the Iowa States. I mean, come on, you know. I don't know. And you know, this is the 5th conference. The Big East is the 5th conference, right?
Yeah.
In basketball.
Yeah.
And I think Florida got a lot of kudos, not just because of the way that their season kind of went towards the end. They were blowing out teams about 2 weeks to the end of the season. And they were just playing not top-notch teams, but better teams than UConn was playing on their schedule. And that kind of weakens their argument for getting that 4th number 1 seed, and Florida landed it because they were relentlessly playing good teams. Maybe not great teams, but good teams.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And I'm looking at the numbers right now. Since 2000, the most Final Four appearances, UConn, North Carolina, and Michigan State all have 7 times since 2000 that they've done it. But if you look at UConn's deal, 14, 23, 2024, 2026. And that's just crazy because if you look at the other teams that are in there outside of Duke, everybody else only had 1 opportunity in the Final Four in the 2020s. So, yeah, we've only been here for 6 years in the 2020s, but UConn has been there 23, 24, and now 26. Whereas UNC, they were there in 2022. Michigan State hasn't been there in the 20s. And Duke has been in there 2022 and last year. And Kansas has been in 2022. Florida obviously was last year. But I'm just saying, like, UK, they ain't been there. Villanova, they were there in 2022. UCLA was there in 2021. But I said all that to say UConn being the 3rd time in the 20s out of 6 years, that's half of the time they've been in the Final Four. And that's crazy to me when you look at it. And they got the same coach.
Yeah, and this kid, Carabon.
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce it? He is, if he wins, I'm saying a big if, okay, he'll have 3 titles in 4 years. And that'll be the most decorated college basketball player that didn't wear a UCLA uniform.
Wow. So then you start looking at all these other things, which is crazy because that's how you really look at dominant dynasties going forward. So either way, we're going to go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, we are going to talk a little bit more about the NCAA. Plus, we got a phone call waiting on the line. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call in now.
This is Touchstone Service.
The Red 70s studio line is open.
Demonstrate how to make a call with your dial telephone.
850-215-6290. It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Discover the new Kia. Stop by Bill Bird Kia today and test drive the all-new 2026 Kia, where comfort, safety, and technology come together like never before. Explore the new 2026 SUV family that moves you and drive away in a new 2026 Seltos, Sportage, or Sorento that are built to inspire every journey. Craving performance? Feel the thrill in the luxurious 2026 Kia K5 sedan, crafted for power, style, and you. And for innovation that sparks excitement, check out the 2026 all-electric Kia EV9, a modern masterpiece that's fast-charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. It's the peace of mind that you can trust. Visit us at 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or online at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. Bill Bird Kia, your local community dealer. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for details.
Your home for college basketball, ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the 2026 NCAA Men's College Basketball Championship tonight. The Michigan Wolverines versus the UConn Huskies. It's Michigan's elite offense, averaging over 90 points a game in the tournament, versus the experienced Huskies, who seek their third title in 4 years. Coverage coming up at 6, tip-off 7:50 on your home for college basketball.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Beyond the score. Beyond the headlines.
Double play.
Our coverage goes deep.
Highway robbery.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Sports Blitz.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the NCAA National Championship. Following the show tonight, coverage starts at 6 o'clock. Tip-off is at 7:30. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see who's going to win. We are excited about going to the phone line. We've got Big Nate on the line. Nate, how you doing today, my friend?
Good. Ready to get my blitz on for the new week, and happy Easter, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. You as well. It was a great day, and it was my birthday on that day, so it was pretty good both ways.
I bet you're sick of eggs.
Oh, yeah, I ate a lot, so there you go.
All right, so Final Four, it was great, all right? Arizona lost, big deal. I didn't have any money on it, so all right. But now that gives us the final, NCAA. I'm going to tell you right now, if Michigan does not win this game, it's because they lost the game. Not because they were beaten, because they beat themselves. And here's the reason why. With the big men inside, if they get into foul trouble, they're going to have a lot of problems, okay? What they really need to focus on is just playing their game and let UConn come to them. Get UConn into foul trouble, they get their big men out, and then the middles open up for the rest of the game, and it's just a dunk fest from there. So,
I don't know, Nate. I think the NCAA referees will have a lot to say about this game. I don't believe we're going to have a blowout, even though there's nobody been playing Michigan very tough.
Well, and that's remember, we've been talking about refs the entire time I've been talking to you for, like, the NCAA tournament.
Yes.
When is it going to hit the fan? When is that going to be more prevalent? And you just talked about it last segment, that there's a lot of talk going on about this kind of stuff. And I warned everybody that you got to be careful with them refs because of that human element that you can't get away from to a certain degree. Now it's getting different. It's not better, but it's getting different, and hopefully they'll figure it out here very soon. But you were also talking about schools that are predominantly basketball having more success, Duke, UConn, Kansas, because the programs that are playing football, Michigan, don't have that backing. Michigan does because, you know, they're blue chip, whatever.
Yeah.
But you look at teams that are predominantly football-based. They're not putting the time, they're not putting the effort into those other programs. And I'm going to say this again, yet. Once they satisfy the football, they get that monster rolling, right? The money's coming in. And they've got extra money to utilize. They got the boosters salivating just to drop something, a morsel, on someone and say, hey, that's my guy. brand him up. Boom. Lilly Pharmaceuticals, whatever.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
It's going to go to the next big sport, the next big sport, the next big sport, till it's completely dominated. My big thing is that why aren't they doing that to the scientific realm? Why aren't they bringing those guys in and showcasing what the people can do for cancer research or weapons development or this or that? There's a lot of people out there that are very smart people, and they don't get the notoriety that somebody that's playing football does just because they're pushing pencils and trying to figure out how to cure cancer. And I think that's wrong. I think there needs to be portals for scientists.
So you're telling me you're making a bold statement right now, and Jeffrey, he's on the line, but I don't think he can hear you. I don't think both lines can hear each other. But
no,
I'm just going to say this. Jeffrey, Nate is proposing that the teachers can enter the portal on the NIL, and that for scientific reasons that now the big schools, the smart schools, the intelligent schools are going to start recruiting the teachers. And before you know it, Sandy, who's a very great chemical engineer that teaches other chemical engineer teachers, they're going to grab her out of Georgia Tech and snap her up over here to St. John's. Jeffrey, what do you think about that? NIL for the teachers.
It's a little scary.
Well,
I think there would be a big culture shock, because I had an English teacher at LSU who had taught at Harvard and Stanford, and to be honest with you, she was not even like a good teacher, if you ask me.
Well, that's a new one, Nate. When you think about bringing the teachers in the portals, I love the coaches, I know the players, but now even the assistant coaches are getting in the portal basically. But now you're looking at teachers. Jordan Flowers. She is the new teacher that's in the portal, and she's coming to help us revitalize our education program.
There you go. I'm telling you, man, that's the future of America right there. Hey, one last thing. North Carolina doesn't have a coach yet, correct?
No, they actually do. We're going to talk about it at the top of the hour, which is going to be really cool.
Beat me to it.
Yep.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow, Paul.
All right, my friend. Thank you so much, Nate. So, Jeffrey, when you look at this, the game between Arizona and Michigan, we've got to talk about it. And, we're probably going to have to run over into the next hour to talk about it. But, you start looking at how good they were, how dominant they were early on. What was your take from the Michigan, how they just manhandled Arizona?
It was indescribable. I believe it was 10-1 or was it 11-1 at the very beginning? I mean, and it was 16-6. I mean, they just seemed like they just had their shots dropping. They didn't have to really hustle for rebounds because their shots were dropping. Arizona looked like they had some get up and go. I mean, it really just was like the ball was just rolling off the rim wrong for Arizona, and they just couldn't get it rolling. As soon as they go on a 6-0 run against Michigan come right back with a 6-0 run of their own. And so they always had an answer. With Lynn Ward?
Yeah.
With him going out, they didn't hesitate. They knew that they could just, be that team to just keep on traveling without him. It's like what the guy said after the game. He was interviewed, and they said, what about him missing as a leader? And to be honest with you, what he said just rang so true. We have 9 starters. That's what he said.
Yeah.
We have 9 starters. They have 4 guys who average in double-digit points on the lineup, and the 5th guy averages 9.9 points per game.
Wow.
The guy who's missing is 3rd on the team in free throw percentage, in field goal percentage, and in three-point percentage. So I know he is the leader because he's averaging 15.1 points per game, but this team, they have guys who just step up into the roles, and, I mean, they're deep. And UConn, as soon as they put their bench in, I'm not saying their bench is bad, but it's not like Michigan. I mean, they just step right in, and then you don't miss a beat.
It's so crazy when you think about how dominant Arizona has been, though. Arizona was so good. They had, this or that or whatever against the teams that they played. But I mean, when you look at at how they played, I mean, even Arkansas or even Purdue, you could just tell they were so much better. I mean, how many people turned their TV off and said Arizona's going to win? I mean, even our poll on the ESPN Northwest Florida Facebook page, our poll had way more people saying that Arizona was going to win. And I was just like amazed, because it was just like, how in the world did all of these people not realize how good Michigan was going to be? Because, I mean, if you look at our poll, we didn't have, there was like 20-something people picked Arizona to win. And then, I mean, you know what? And just for the sake of it, Tim Kilpatrick, Jaira Coney, Nathan Ritchie, Clint Allen, Jody Graham, Blake Sutherland, J.D. Mozanowski, Matt Durham, Humbert Diesel, Christopher Lancaster, Billy DeVore, Frankie Eskew, Brandon Strickland, and then my wife Lindsey Wilson. They all picked Michigan. They all knew that it was going to happen. And to me, the biggest shock about the whole game was the score and how they did it without their, like you said, without their main guy, the guy that everybody was talking about, a guy that possibly has now moved himself up the draft board, and somebody's probably going to take him. And, here he is on, the big stage. He's hurt, not just his MCL, but his ankle, and he still comes back in, and it's just like he knocked down a couple of threes. He still was trying. You could tell he was limited of what he could do, but it was just like there was nothing Arizona. I don't think Arizona could have added a sixth person on the floor and went 6 versus 5 and still been able to come back and beat them.
Okay, we had a few people who couldn't win the bracket challenge, right?
Yeah.
Okay, of the people who were eligible to win, the top 18 people, you know how many picked Michigan to win it all?
How many?
1.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's the same amount that picked UConn and Bama.
Yeah, Illinois.
Michigan State, yeah, and Illinois. Out of all those, I mean, there's tons of Dukes. There's a few Floridas. There's a bunch of Arizonas. There's even 2 of, what was it? It was Arkansas? 2 people picked Arkansas. So, I mean, that's crazy to even think that, did we discredit Michigan? Did we not think that they were them? Because they are them. And the way that they handled Arizona was just, it wasn't insane, but you could tell that they were a step above. And it wasn't just like a couple of bad rules off the rim that kept them out. They were manhandled. And it makes me think that maybe this is one of the top 5 teams of the last 20 years, possibly.
Oh wow! So you're thinking you're saying that you're kind of going online with some of the national people. So you're in agreement. You're in agreement with this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're just deep. They're fast. They're thorough. They aren't sloppy. They're energetic when they know when it's going to be a rebound. They have to be where it's going to land. I mean, there's nothing that they're missing. And the coaching, I sent you a reel about how they practiced for the stadium, because it's like a different type of setup in that stadium. Did you look at that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They practiced in Michigan Stadium, the big house, so they can, adjust their eyesight for shooting at a clear goal, a backboard, where they can see it's different in that setup of an arena.
Oh, wow.
And they're just better prepared. They're everything. And coming into the season, if you had told me Michigan would do what they did, I would have told you you're crazy. If you had told me that Nebraska would start at 20-0, I would have said crazy. I can't even predict any of this stuff that's been happening. All the talk pretty much down in Florida was nothing about Gators, right?
Yeah.
Everything was Gators, and then there was talk about Duke, and that was about it.
No, you're right. Well, we're going to talk a lot more when we come back from the break, and Jeffrey's going to stay on here with us. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Red 7T studio line is now open.
I think this entire audience is on medication.
850-215-6290.
This just in.
Get the latest sports news, scores, and updates from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Follow us on Facebook for exclusive content, behind-the-scenes action, live streams, and the chance to interact with your favorite hosts.
Stay connected. Stay connected. Stay connected.
Join the conversation on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Search for ESPN Northwest Florida and crush the follow button.
I follow you on social media.
We're always here to keep you in the game.
Good evening, this is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Monday's weather forecast. A variety of clouds and very light showers tonight with a low near 59 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Some sun tomorrow morning and a temperature of 69. Warmer in the afternoon and evening around 75 with mostly sunshine. Partly cloudy most of the day aside from a small chance of rain showers in the evening Wednesday and very warm around 71. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
That's the buzzer. And on Hard Rock Bet, buzzer beaters mean bonus bets. Every time a team you bet to win or cover hits a game-winning buzzer beater, you score a $25 bonus bet, an extra $25 on top of your winnings. Just opt in and bet $5 on any team. As many teams as you want, all tourney. Win bonus bets at the buzzer, only on Hard Rock Bet.
Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Reliable Copy Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Copy Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Smothers at 784-6601, 784-6601. Reliable Copy Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
WGSX New Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida. Your home for college basketball, ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the 2026 NCAA Men's College Basketball Championship tonight. The Michigan Wolverines versus the UConn Huskies.
Tosses it up.
It's Michigan's elite offense averaging over 90 points a game in the tournament versus the experienced Huskies who seek their third title in 4 years. Coverage coming up at 6, tip-off 7:50 on your home for college basketball.
ESPN Northwest Florida. And now the Gulf Coast's newest sports talk host, Paul Wilson.
Fresh new start.
Locally sourced, farm to radio. The Sports Blitz.
We're starting fresh.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. The hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. It's Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the topic. The show hottest was Sabi. Better tune in and go watch it. Hey, Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even tried, you can't stop it. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share. Right now.
We are live on this Monday. A little overcast, a little chilly, a little bit of rain. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your spot for the national championship tonight, starting right after the show, 6 o'clock. Tip-offs at 7:30. And then don't forget, tomorrow night, the Braves take on the Angels at 7:20. First pitch is at 8:40. You can call in, text in on the line, 850-215-6290. Got Jeffrey on the line as well. You know, Jeffrey, when you think about it, I was starting to look at it, and we had talked about how dominant Arizona had been throughout the whole tournament. And so I looked up their roster. Do you realize that 16 out of the 16 players that's on their roster, that 8 of their players are from another country? The foreign players, they had the most out of all the Final Fours teams. They had 8 of their 16, so half of their team is from another country and possibly had already started playing the Euro League or playing in a professional league over there. And then you look at Michigan, they've got 6 from another country as well on their roster. Are we looking at something that's crazy that's kind of shifting in college basketball? Because if you look at the other teams, UConn doesn't have a lot, but then Illinois did. So I think they had 6. So it's just crazy to me when you think about all of these players coming over to play college basketball, not just the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, this has been happening for 2 big reasons. The first reason is the NBA has been doing this, correct?
Yeah.
And then the second reason is NIL. There's money there to be had. So the Europeans are like, well, what's my way? What's my path to get into the NBA instead of just getting discovered in Europe? And they're coming to the college ranks. And, there will be obviously some that go and start in the NBA. Some of them are going to go right back to the European League and still get paid.
And do you think it's fair? Because a lot of these guys have already been playing professional basketball. Because if they play overseas, if they play over there in their professional leagues, and then they come over, and I started digging and doing the research on it, you do realize that you used to have to go through the clearinghouse. You have to take a SAT or an ACT, and you'd have to have your certain specific grades and all of that. Do you realize that none of that holds true to the foreign player? They can come over, and all they have to do is just transfer their academic records, and that's it. They're eligible as long as they can get approved to live over here in the States.
Yeah, and well, let's bring up something that's happened for decades now. Soccer in Europe has gotten infiltrated by Argentinians, Brazilians, even Colombians, and I mean that's been kind of South Americans take over their sport in their homeland. I mean, we're where our sports are being taken over by people from abroad, and I think it's fair. I mean, I think it's disappointing for some that grew up here and went through the whole travel ball or however the way they get to the big leagues. But it's a reality that's coming to face us now.
And see, I don't love it for basketball. I don't. And the reason why I don't love it for basketball is because you're already playing professionally. You're playing against professional people. And I get it. We're paying our players in college now, but it's not amateur sports anymore. We're not, these 18 and 19 and 20-year-old young men are coming into from high school or whatever. But now you know as well as I do, if half of the team from Arizona that we're talking about, half of them, that's 8 scholarships that is taken away from an 18, a 19, a 20-year-old that, maybe they've been a 3-star or a 4-star or something. And it's just like, man, now it's going to make it even harder to be able to come and play basketball in the college ranks when you're straight out. So you look at it, your JUCOs, they're going to start being your places where you're going to have the hotbeds of talent because they're going to have to go over to the JUCO level and prove themselves and then transfer into the big programs.
And how does that affect their eligibility?
Right. They'll lose it. But see, a player like, one of these guys from overseas can go and they can be over in Germany and play 2 years professionally as a 17-year and an 18-year-old, and then their 19-year-old year, they can come over and play for any of these other schools that want them, and then they've already had 2 years of playing against professionally grown men. Because that Euro League over there, yeah, there's some younger guys that are going to be there and all of that, but you're going to have grown men. You could have older Americans that are no longer in the NBA over in that Euro League still too. And so they're already playing. It's almost like they're playing in a G League. So really now I'm starting to kind of shift my brain is that, okay, so if we're going to allow the Euro League to come over and play in our college basketball system, then shoot, why not let the G Leaguers come back and play in our college basketball system?
I don't agree with that one. I don't know. It's different from being professional here and being professional in another country. I just don't agree with that.
But, I mean, you said last week the second tier of the NBA is the Euro League. I mean, if you look at it, that's where
Yeah.
Luka Doncic came from. He was in the EuroLeague
Yeah.
as a 14 through 17-year-old, 18-year-old boy. I mean, he was playing in the professionals. So I just don't understand it.
Yeah, what about the Joker?
Right. You're exactly right. And you know, it's just it's amazing when you look at how now not only have they infiltrated the NBA, but now you're looking at all of these college, you know, because you see the names on their back and it's names that you can't pronounce, and you're like, whoa, I didn't realize they were going there. You know, I didn't realize they were coming from their other countries coming here. And I'm not, you know, trying to be like, oh, they can't play over here, that's our country, or nothing like that. I'm just saying the fairness of it when you've got an 18-year-old, 19-year-old young man playing against we saw what the effect of what it was with the football. How much more is it going to be effective now? But you got these guys that are, you know, 4 of your starting 5 are all foreign players.
So, in the mortal words of Paul Wilson, he said, don't you want the 12 best teams in the college football playoffs? Well, don't you want the best players to play in your league that you're watching?
I mean,
if you have Europeans come over, don't you want to see the best players play?
Yeah, and pro. You're a pro. If you've been playing 2 to 3 years in a pro league, then go get in the NBA draft and go play against the other pros. I mean, why are you going to come over here and play in college when you're already 21 years old and all you're trying to do is come over and get the money?
It's not amateur any longer, Paul. They're getting paid. It is professional league.
Yeah, no, I guess you're right. Well, we got a line here. TCUJ here. Paul, who are the top 5 NBA players? Jokic, Luka, Giannis, SGA, and Wemby. All international. They want it more. The U.S. is concerned with style, and the world is into substance. It's tougher to play there and softer in the NBA.
And SGA is the only one that went to college here.
Right. Everybody else was a foreign player and that did not play college ball here in America. SGA went to Kentucky, and you're exactly right. So, really, when you look at it, I mean, do you agree with those 5 as the best players in the NBA? I mean, when you first look there's 3 of them that are the top 3, but I don't know about Giannis anymore. He's kind of dropped off a bit, but SGA is definitely a top 3 guy, and of course Luka is also. But I mean, yeah, sure, they all fit in with the top 7 or 8 players in the league, and that's astounding that this has even happened to. I don't want to say our sport, but it was created here in the States. And now it's being taken over by the Europeans in that regard. I mean, yeah, I agree with him. I think the 5 best players are the 5 that he named, and I believe it with all my heart that those guys are the ones that are going to win the MVPs. They're going to lead their teams. I mean, if you look at it, look at what Wemby's doing. Look at what Jokic has already done. Look at what Luka has done. I mean, how he's now in the biggest market with the Lakers, and then look at SGA. Won it last year. They're picked to repeat this year. I mean, you look at these guys and how good they are. And obviously you said SGA played at Kentucky, but I mean those other guys, they were big time players in the EuroLeague, and I mean when you see them, that's the whole deal behind the Olympic Games now too, with how the Olympics are set up. You know, no longer is it a slam dunk that the U.S. is going to win for sure in the Olympics now, because there's so many. I mean, even if you look at every team across the NBA spectrum, you're going to see foreign players on their roster that's going to get minutes. And that's the thing about it. It's, you know, with them paying as much as they do in pro, that's what they're doing. They're going over there to get it. But now it just is concerning. It's concerning to me that it's infiltrated the college game. Yes, we still call them kids. I know that they're young men. Yes, we still call it amateur, but I know that you know what facilitates whether or not it's an amateur game or if it's a pro game. Is it just the money?
So if Japan wins 2 or 3 World Baseball Classics in a row, could we see that we don't control basketball any longer?
I don't know. I mean, because if you look at Japan, even though they've got some dominant players with Yamamoto and Shohei Ohtani, they're not, they're not a bunch of the Japanese. There are definitely a lot of Dominicans as well as Venezuelans and all of that. And I'm for whoever the best is. I know you used that earlier as a little dig, but I still believe that. But I worry about the college game. When we're talking pro, fine. The best play, you're the best, be the best, go play in the best. But in college, it just seems like pros playing in college, to me, just seem unfair because, yeah, there's an AAU circuit that our kids are playing in for basketball here in the States, but it's nothing like the Euro League. It's nothing like how they teach you there. It's nothing like – because you're going to be playing against grown men in that Euro League, whereas in the AAUs, you're playing against guys that are the same age as you. They're in high school just like you are, and that's the problem. And I'm curious to see what we'll get Coach Blue's opinion about it. We got Dario Green coming on tomorrow to break down this national championship game tonight with us tomorrow. I'm curious to see what he thinks about it. Whereas he's a high school coach trying to get these athletes into college, and how, because you know as well as I do, Jeffrey, if it's doing it in Division I, it's probably doing it in JUCO, it's probably doing it in these other places too, because maybe they don't know anybody, or maybe they didn't get in to the place to where that they could do it. And so, is it going to infiltrate the whole system? That might be the better question.
So here's a couple of questions. First one is, absolutely, the first one's kind of more of a statement. Since the 90s, we've been letting people go through the baseball draft, play minor league baseball, and come back and play college football. So we've been allowing that to happen for 3 decades now. So if you put an age cap on these guys in college, is that going to be like for the people who go and play baseball before switching over to another sport?
I guess that would be the way you could have an asterisk beside it, is that you can't come back and play the sport that you played professionally in. If you want to come back and play basketball, if you want to come back and play football, if you want to come back and play baseball, whatever you want to do, you can, but you can't play the sport that you played pro in. That would be the implication to not being fair to me. Because, we've already got professional leagues. We've got the NBA, the NFL, and Major League Baseball. I don't want to see pros playing against 18 and 19 and 20-year-olds, because really that's what we saw last year. What did we say it was? It was 42% of Indiana starters on their football team were above 22 years old or something like that. They were almost older than the Green Bay Packers, for God's sakes. It's just they've got to cap it somewhere at an age.
Well, also think about it. If you're pulling for the Crimson Tide and your Crimson Tide doesn't have any Alabama players, it's like pulling for an NBA team or NFL team. Your players aren't even from where you're rooting for them. So it's not really even a home team any longer. You're just pulling for franchises.
No, that's a great point. I didn't even think about that, but you're exactly right. When you look at these rosters and you don't see the names of the people, and that was what when I lived in Kentucky, that was what they used to dean Coach Calipari all the time. And he never, ever, ever got Kentucky players to come play at the University of Kentucky. He never did. The only person that he ever got to play at Kentucky was Darius Miles, and then he had Reed Shepherd. And they loved those guys. They loved them more than they loved the other players, not because they were better, not because they could do this or do that, but it was because they came from the state of Kentucky. So you're exactly right. If you look at college basketball, baseball, or football, as they start branching out and grabbing with the NIL, that's exactly what you're getting. You're not, Indiana probably didn't have, 10% of their roster come from the state of Indiana. I'm sure Alabama, that was one thing about Nick Saban, though. He never just went and got the 5 stars out of every other state. Now, he did get Derrick Henry, and he did get Mark Ingram, and he did get those guys. But he did win his state in recruiting. But these guys in basketball, where they only get a certain amount of scholarships, they're going after the best players. They're not going after their in-town guys, and that's exactly what Calipari did. And he hardly ever, which we saw the kid that played at Ole Miss. He was a transfer from Kentucky, and he was the all-time leading scorer in the state of Kentucky. I was reading someone the other day, one of my friends, he's a big-time UK fan, and he wrote on there should be a requirement that the kid that wins the Kentucky State Player of the Year, he should automatically get a scholarship to go to UK.
Wow. Even if he's below 6 foot.
Don't matter. He should win. If he wins it, he should get the scholarship. And see, you're exactly right. You're touching on an issue that a lot of people, they may not say it because they didn't think of it, but it's true, man. When you have a player that comes from your state and they play for that team, there is a love. I mean, you look at Julio Jones, you look at Rolando McClain. Those guys were born and raised in Alabama, and they now, they can go anywhere in that state and people recognize them, and they can go nationally and get recognized. But when you are from the state that you play in, people seem to love you more. And I mean, that's just kind of how it works.
Well, LSU has 2 Heisman Trophy winners, Burrow and Daniels, and both of them were transfers. And Nussmeier was from the state, but now we got 3 quarterbacks, the first, second, and third string, that are going to be competing against each other, and they're all transfers from other states. So, I mean, we're not really the Louisiana team as much as we are just trying to put a championship team together. I mean, look at Tua. Where's Tua from? Hawaii.
I
don't even know where Jalen Hurts is from.
Texas.
There you go.
Yep. So you're exactly right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and take our next break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about March Madness. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Get in the game. Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida presents Wrestling Against Cancer 11. Come see Nikita Koloff, women's matches, Cali Man, Nelson Iser, Kelly Clark, and more. Wrestling Against Cancer at Bay Haven Charter Academy, Saturday, April 25th. Front row tickets $20, second row $15. General admission just $12. Kids 5 and under free. Doors open at 5, bell time 6:30. Proceeds go to Pam Clements Medical Expenses.
Good evening, this is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Monday's weather forecast. A variety of clouds and very light showers tonight with a low near 59 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Some sun tomorrow morning and a temperature of 69. Warmer in the afternoon and evening around 75 with mostly sunshine. Partly cloudy most of the day aside from a small chance of rain showers in the evening Wednesday and very warm around 71. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Reliable Copy Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Copy Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Smothers at 784-6601. 784-6601. Reliable Copy Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the 2026 NCAA Men's College Basketball Championship tonight. The Michigan Wolverines versus the UConn Huskies.
Tosses it up.
It's Michigan's elite offense, averaging over 90 points a game in the tournament, versus the experienced Huskies, who seek their third title in 4 years. Coverage coming up at 6, tip-off 7:50 on your home for college basketball.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Call-ins are not welcomed. They're expected. Pick up the damn phone.
I'm ready to go in, Coach.
850-215-6290.
Just give me a chance.
Now back to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Just give me the damn ball.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the national championship, the NCAA Basketball National Championship right here. 6 o'clock starts the coverage. 7:30 is the tip-off. And then don't forget, tomorrow night, the Braves at the Angels, 7:20 coverage. First pitch is at 8:40. We are on the line. We've got Jeffrey on the line. And now we are joined with Coach Brian Haddad. And where is Coach Brian Haddad today? Brian, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm good. I'm out in the greater Phoenix, Arizona area, Glendale, Arizona. I'm right across the street from State Farm Stadium, where the Arizona Cardinals lose a lot. But looking forward to the Tops Industry Conference, which starts in a couple hours.
So give us the rundown on it. I know you talked about it a little bit last week. Have they tipped their hand on who all's going to be there? And then just kind of give us a rundown of what's happening over there.
So not yet. I am curious, with it being at the football stadium, with the announcement of Topps Chrome football, which we'll get into, I'm sure, in a little bit. I would imagine it would be football heavy, but we're about a week and a half out of WrestleMania, and I know Raw is in Houston tonight, and then they come to the West Coast getting set for being in Vegas. So I think we may get a WWE personality or two. I mean, it's liable to be pretty fun out here. But they have not released anything yet. We find all that out most likely tomorrow.
That's going to be awesome. And so you did say the football is going to be released, and it's exciting. I know that someone pulled today in one of the Topps packs 2 tickets to the World Series. So
very cool.
It is. There's a lot of stuff you can pull. They just showed it earlier, right before we came on air, and that's a really cool thing. So it wouldn't surprise me if they're going to have some Super Bowl tickets in there as well.
No, it wouldn't. You know, what they're doing with football, it's kind of interesting. I thought they might wait to release all the info here, because we've been talking for years about how Topps or Fanatics is acquiring the license starting April 1st. Well, sure enough, right when they got the license, they put the word out that they're releasing 2025 Topps Chrome. Now, that's going to be the guys who just finished their rookie season as rookies. So Jackson Dart, Shadur Sanders, Travis Hunter, Cam Ward, Scatabo, that class. So they're kind of racing that product out. It should drop in the next 2 weeks or so. And then when we look, they'll probably do maybe one more set. And then as we get toward the end of the summer in the anticipation of the new season, that's when they start rocking out the 2026 products with the guys who are going to get drafted here at the end of the month. So Topps is hitting the ground running, as it is with football, and they actually got moving a little quicker than I thought. I thought it'd be, another day or two before they announced all this, but they're rocking and rolling.
I'm just excited about the event that you're at, too, and I just think that, we talked about it last week. I think Brady's showing up. I mean, and I want you to make sure you text me and let me know if I'm right or not, because I just think Brady's going to be there. And, I mean, gosh, what kind of craziness would it be for Brian Haddad and Tom Brady to be in the same building at the same time? There's no telling what's going to happen.
Yeah, supermodels, watch out, both of us. But, no, look, it would make some level of sense. I mean, not only is Tom Brady obviously one of, if not the biggest name in football, but he does own a string of card shops, and he's gotten very into the sports card sphere over the last couple of years. So just with football being the primary focus right now, it would be neat. We'll have to see.
Now, let's step out of the card stuff for right now. We'll go back into it for just a second. Before this segment, me and Jeffrey's been talking, and, and I don't know if you got to hear any of that, but if you look at this year's Final Four and just the teams and their rosters, there's a plethora. And then when I say a plethora, I'm talking like with Arizona, they've got half of their team comes from abroad. It comes from they come from somewhere else. Over half, or right at half. 8 of the 16 of Arizona players are from another country. And then if you look at Michigan, they've got 6. UConn's got a couple. And then you look at Illinois, they had 6. And then I'm sure there was others all the way through. I just looked at the Final Four. Do you think that it's fair? Because due to them being able to play in the Euro League, it's totally a little bit different. I know baseball, it kind of can be that way, but, when they get drafted, they're playing against other pros. When you're talking about kids or young men that have already been playing professionally against professional players, and then now they're coming over to capitalize. I don't mind them capitalizing on being able to make money, but they're coming over and they're playing in the college basketball world against what we would still call amateurs, people that just got out of high school. What do you think about that, and how do you think it's changed the game, so to speak?
Well, first of all, anytime I hear the word plethora, I think of Three Amigos. I have to say, what is a plethora?
That's right.
That always cracks me up. No, I mean, look, what basketball is seeing is what the Olympic sports have seen for years.
Yeah.
You have a lot of scholarships and a lot of opportunities going to foreign athletes. And I think you're starting to see it in basketball because over the last 20, 30 years, basketball has become much more international. Baseball maybe will get that way, although the way that they do the systems now with the guys, being able to come right out of the Dominican, development systems and things like that, a little bit different. Football, American football, if you will, is still obviously way behind in terms of the world stage. But, we'll see. The problem is you're not comparing apples to apples because they don't necessarily have a school or a high school system the way we do.
Yeah.
So if they're going to play athletics over there, they're going to be involved in your, organized sporting clubs, which, I think Luka played for Real Madrid. Everybody thinks of them with soccer, but, they have many sports. Barcelona has multiple sports, so they have a lot of that. And they go into academies that are sports-based. So I get that end of it, so it's not necessarily the same. The only issue I ever had, if you had scholarships that were taxpayer-based,
yeah,
that was when I had a bit of an issue versus non-citizens versus citizens. But to be honest, most scholarships are independently financed. So, at the end of the day, would it be great if, the path to a college education and college athletic opportunities were more visible to American athletes? Sure. I'm not necessarily certain it's unfair. It's something I wish would happen. But like I said, it's been happening in the Olympic sports for years and years and years, and it's just kind of creeping its way into basketball now.
Yeah, it seems like it's getting more and more, and obviously because there's not as many players, obviously when you see a name on the back of a jersey that's something that you hardly can pronounce, I guess that they come over. But the other thing that's kind of interesting is that when you look up their bio, it says U.S. Basketball Academy, and then it'll be a dash Germany, or dash Yugoslavia, or dash another country. And so what it looks like is that they're going to these they've got USA academies over in these foreign countries that these kids or adults that are going there, and it seems like that's where they're going to get trained or play. And then when they're ready, it's almost like all of these colleges have the opportunity to just grab them and bring them over. And then one of the text line people said that, when you've got people like Luka and Joker and Giannis and Wemby, and then he did mention SGA. I know SGA went to UK, but all 4 of those out of the 5 didn't go to college here in the States. They all just went to the pros.
Well, I mean, look, the academy system and the growth of the international end of the sport, you could say it goes back to 72 when we got robbed of the gold medal, but really it's come on since probably around the Dream Team era, when we kind of got fed up and said, all right. And then you saw the big expansion in the Eastern Bloc with like Serbia and Croatia and a lot of those areas. And, you know, we're trying to grow the game internationally, which is good for the game overall. The downside of that may be it might limit some opportunities. I mean, I coached swimming for 30 years. We saw the same thing. We wanted to boost the sport in Europe, and as such, a lot of the college scholarships have gone to Europeans because we have been successful in doing that. It's good for the game overall, but it's difficult. But that being said, these college coaches, you know, how many of them you ever seen go, 16 and 16, but they get retained because, hey, he brought all, kids from Texas on the team. No, it's about winning.
Yeah.
You can't blame them for bringing them in because they're trying to win. And a lot of the European players, we've seen it because they're in these academy systems that's built more on fundamentals and development and growth. They're probably farther along the chain. They may not be as athletic, but a lot of the American system, the AAU and the school system, is about just playing games. And so when you get to college, you've still got some development to go, whereas a lot of these kids from Europe, they're already developed products.
Yeah, and you look at the AAU, and I'm on a lot of I've got a lot of friends across the spectrum that are coaches that are involved in youth sports, and I do see a lot of the youth sports, and this is probably to our own detriment, even in baseball, even in football, and now even in basketball. If you look at it, the coaches are wanting to win more and win these championships more than they're wanting to develop the players, and I think abroad – it's a little different. I don't think they care so much about winning the championships, obviously that comes with it, but they're about development because when you see a player comes over, they're more developed than our players are.
That's right, and I think that starts from the soccer system, across Europe predominantly, which is an academy-based system, which is literally they're going out and spotting 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds, getting them into their academy system. Everything is about developing them to be what they call first-team players. It's not about them necessarily winning the under-13, under-15, under-17. It's great if they do, but the primary focus is to develop a first-line player. If you look at the comparison to that in this country would be if the NBA put kids in an Orlando Magic academy at 10, 11, 12 years old, and they played tournaments like that. But as it stands, when they go to high school, it's about winning a state championship. When they go to the AAU, it's about winning a championship. College, winning a championship. It's not about long-term development of the athlete. That is tertiary, and it goes hand in hand, but it's not the primary focus the way it is in Europe.
Yeah, I think you got a big point there, and that's the problem I think that we're having with all this, so we can't really get mad at our own system, obviously. Let's switch it over a little bit. Give us the address of PCB Hobby. Tell us what's coming this week, if you could.
Yeah, 11939 Panama City Beach Parkway. That's Back Beach Road for you locals next to Florida Linen. It's a good time to come in this Saturday because it is Super Saturday. So 10% off all sealed wax products. We do have top WWE Chrome coming out this week. That'll be the major release just in time for WrestleMania, and of course all the great products that have already been out. I won't quite be back by then, but go in and see all the guys at the shop, and you happen to be down there visiting Mickey Mouse in Orlando, you can go check us out there over Turkey Creek or Turkey Lake. I always forget which one it is, but it's right across I-4 from the giant wheel there in Icon Park in Orlando, the new PCB Hobby Orlando store as well. And look, if you can't make it to either of our sites, you can always catch us on eBay Live. We're streaming sports, TCGs, coins, comic books, toys, you name it. We're probably running a show about it.
What do you think about the NCAA tournament tonight that's going to take place? Obviously, you got UConn, who's won it, Michigan, who hasn't, with Dusty May and Danny Hurley. I always call him Bobby, but either way, what do you think? Give us your results on that one, Big.
Well, I'm a little disappointed Arizona's not in it. Not not because I don't like Michigan, but because being out here, that would be crazy and a lot of fun. But, I mean, look, you would say experience, but, you know, other than maybe one or two guys, it's a pretty new stuff. But how can you pick against Michigan the way that they're playing right now? I mean, it's just one of those things. Would it shock me if UConn beat them? No. But I think you have to lean Michigan here. They're playing on such a level, such a high, that I just see Michigan taking this by 8 or 10 points. I think they've got too much for UConn tonight.
Yeah, that's crazy. When you look at how good they've been, and you're right. I mean, everybody that pretty much put a bracket in picked everybody but Michigan. And now that you look at how good they are, it's just like, how can you pick anybody but Michigan because of how great they are, even with their, you know, what everybody's calling their best player kind of being injured with the MCL and all of that.
There's some bias to that in that Michigan is not seen as a perennial basketball power. Now, I mean, you and I remember them winning in '89.
Yeah.
And obviously the Fab Five, they've had some great teams, but they're not seen as that basketball name. That's why everybody picks Duke or picks Arizona, or, you know, Houston was there last year, or UConn's won 2 of the last 3. Those all make sense. Florida won last year, and there's local flavor. So it doesn't surprise me. And we don't really see that many Michigan games, you know, in our area. That being said, they put together a heck of a resume this year, and they've been on a tremendous run in the tournament. So, you know, more power to them, and, you know, we'll see. And we'll also see if Dusty May stays there. There's a lot of talk of him maybe going to the NBA.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, Brian, we appreciate it. Make sure you stay safe, and if you do see Tom Brady, tell him Paul said hello.
We'll do it.
All right, my friend. Brian Haddad, PCB Hobby. We appreciate you coming on. When we come back, me and Jeffrey are going to talk a little bit more about this national championship game. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Are you sick of the old sports talk? The vanilla opinions, the polite debates, the hosts who are afraid to say what they really think? So are we. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is bringing the house. It's the new Sports Blitz.
Weekdays 4 to 6.
We're starting arguments, not conversations. The Sports Blitz.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Discover the new Kia. Stop by Bill Bird Kia today and test drive the all-new 2026 Kia, where comfort, safety, and technology come together like never before. Explore the new 2026 SUV family that moves you and drive away in a new 2026 Seltos, Sportage, or Sorento that are built to inspire every journey. Craving performance? Feel the thrill in the luxurious 2026 Kia K5 sedan, crafted for power, style, and you. And for innovation that sparks excitement, check out the 2026 all-electric Kia EV9, a modern masterpiece that's fast-charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. It's the peace of mind that you can trust. Visit us at 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or online at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. Bill Bird Kia, your local community dealer. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for details.
Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the 2026 NCAA Men's College Basketball Championship tonight. The Michigan Wolverines versus the UConn Huskies.
Tosses it up.
It's Michigan's elite offense, averaging over 90 points a game in the tournament, versus the experienced Huskies, who seek their 3rd title in 4 years. Coverage coming up at 6, tip-off 7:50 on your home for college basketball.
ESPN Northwest Florida. This is the Sports Blitz, where we don't have guests. We have punching bags. The Sports Blitz at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, and tonight college basketball. The NCAA National Championship coverage starts right after the show in about 15 minutes, and then the tip-off is at 7:30. And then don't forget tomorrow, the Braves at the Angels, 7:20 coverage. First pitch is at 8:40. And don't forget, today's microphone is sponsored by Humbert Diesel and Auto Repair, 1504 County Road 390 in Lynn Haven, Florida. The phone number there is 850-630-0766. Ty and those guys over there take good care of you. They know how to take care of diesels. You can't just let anybody work on a diesel. A diesel is a different thing. It's not the same as a gasser. It's definitely a different deal.
Do it. No
Yeah, just come on over. Let Bone Crusher look at it. He'll look at it. But, yeah, go see them. They're at 1504 County Road 390, Lynn Haven, Florida. Don't come tonight because his Michigan Wolverines are playing, and he's going to be locked in on that game for sure. We've got Jeffrey on the line. Jeffrey, a lot of online chatter today I saw that, with the roster that Michigan has, they've kind of been a little bit baby about it. They're talking about how much money Michigan has spent on their roster. Are we going to have to do this every year, year in, year out? Every team that does well, we're going to look at their roster and be like, oh, well, the reason why they're doing this is because they spent $30 million on this roster.
Well, there's enough people out there clamoring about it, and you know what? They're probably sore losers.
Is that what it is? They just don't think
well,
that's what it is.
You know who's got the least problem with it is the ones that are winning.
That's right. Let me ask you this. When you look at this team, you said earlier, and I just want to make sure I heard you correctly, you said if they win tonight, they could possibly be top 5 of the last 20 years in college basketball. Tell me why.
Well, have you seen them play? I mean, it's not just a shooting percentage, the way they're scoring. It's the defense. It's the rebounding. I mean, they have get up and go. They're deep. They have guys that are on the bench that could be playing in the NCAA tournament starting anywhere else,
Yeah, and let me ask you this. Do you foresee any of these guys looking like they're going to be stars in the NBA? Because when I look over the roster, when I look at and see what they're doing, I really don't see anything that wows me to make me feel or believe that they're NBA stars on this roster.
Yeah, I mean, it's a full team. There's nobody that's a superstar, really. And I'll probably go to eat those words in about 2-3 years because I think there is going to be one or two guys that we'll be looking at in the pros and be like, those are a starter in the NBA. I mean, Joaquin Noah and Horford, did you think that they would have the career that they had after they won in Florida back-to-back?
I thought Noah would have a better career. I mean, when you look at Horford, he had a pretty good career. I don't think he is a star or was a star. I mean, he was an integral piece to the Celtics winning their championship. But I mean, no, I didn't think. I thought they kind of were just role players, really.
Yeah. So this is the first Big Ten title, and I'm giving it to them right now. I think they're going to win tonight. And first Big Ten title since 2000, Michigan State. And before that, 1989, Michigan.
Wow.
Does it shock you that there's like 37 years with only 2 titles?
Yeah, it does, really. And I wanted to read this. I knew there was a reason why we said that earlier, but this is what everybody's talking about, is that only one starter played there last season. And that's what, you know what I mean, like, and the guy wrote, if this is the future of college basketball, that's pretty sad. I think I'd rather have Duke winning, which he hates Duke. So that's the biggest thing about it is that are we going to be the same way as we are in football? Are we going to see this portal that every single year you're not going to see holdovers? You're just going to see people that are new, and every year they're just going to give it a go every time you turn around.
Yeah, I mean, there's no cohesion except for the fact that, I mean, Duke had, 3 freshmen starting, right?
Yeah.
And the Boozer brothers, that's the cohesion of chemistry you could have before this year, is that they're brothers, and twins at that. Why would you want Duke when they basically have a similar situation as their first year there? I mean, is that much more that you have like a couple of juniors and 3 freshmen starting or whatever they had, as opposed to a bunch of guys who just got to the university? I don't know. It doesn't diminish the ability that they have. It's actually more astonishing that they've created all this because they can play together within one season. It's not even been 12 months that they've been playing together. That's even more to, admire about this team.
And that's the thing about it. Like, usually, we've talked about it. Me and you've talked about it off the air, on the air, and in between. When you look at it, usually you have these teams that have these guys that have leadership, that have been at the school, that are, they're juniors or they're seniors, and they've been there, and they know how to, get these guys to play good, and they know how to, win. And with this, we don't really see that. UConn's got a little bit of that, but if you look at how Michigan's playing, they don't have any of that. These guys have just come together, gelled together, and, because everybody's picking Michigan to win, do you think if UConn upsets them tonight that this could go down as, maybe in the last 20 years, top 5 maybe of upsets all across the college basketball landscape?
Wow. I think there was a Villanova year that would definitely be bigger than this one for sure.
But this one, everybody's picking them, though, because of how big of a margin that they beat everybody during this season.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I'm not taking anything away from Michigan. They beat teams who beat teams to get to where they were. Alabama did not have 2 big, huge games. I kind of discount Texas Tech a little bit because of the injury. But Tennessee went through Iowa State and Virginia to get to where they were.
Yeah.
I know Arizona had a tough schedule because Arkansas was legitimately maybe the hottest team in the SEC because they won SEC tournament. Purdue beat Michigan to win the Big Ten tournament. So, Arizona had the hardest route to get to the tournament Final Four, but there's nothing knocking both these teams' road to get there. They are legitimately top 3 teams, if not the top 2 teams. And do you think that UConn's the 3rd best team in the nation?
No, I didn't. I didn't before the tournament.
But now do you?
But now, I guess. I guess so. We were so wrong about Arizona and Michigan. Like, I don't really know what to think now because I'm thinking we said behind these microphones on Friday that Arizona and Michigan is going to be the 2 best teams in college basketball. And I'll just be honest with you. It looked like a AAA team playing a single A team out there. They dominated them. They made them look like – and they didn't even have their, what everybody's calling their best player for almost over half the game. So I don't really know. And you know as well as I do, UConn could come out there and be hot and Michigan be a little cold, be a little nervous, be a little bit whatever. And before you know it, tomorrow we could be coming in saying, is this one of the biggest upsets we've seen in the last 5 years or 10 years or whatever years? But I don't know. I don't know. I just know this. Michigan's really, really good, and it would be a travesty if they would be this good all year long to lose to a team that really we don't know if they're the top 5 best team in the country anyway.
Yeah. Well, that leading scorer, he played 30% of that game. 30%.
Yeah, that's crazy when you think about it. Let me ask you this. Yeah, go ahead.
They were up by 14 when he left.
I know. And it seemed like they never let up. It wasn't like, he come out, they're going to close it into, single digits. No, they kept it at double digits the whole time. There was never a run. Like you said, they went on a 6-0 run, then Michigan went right back on a 6-0 run. Let me ask you this before we get out of here. You watch the women's. I know you're our inside women's college basketball expert. What do you think about how the coach from UConn, Gino, acted towards Don Staley at the end of the game against South Carolina?
It was trash, and he was acting like a baby, and his apology was not even his apology. It was the university's apology.
Do you believe
and
that –
it wasn't –
yeah, go ahead.
It wasn't in person either. He didn't apologize in person. when they have the write-up, I want you to go read it and see exactly how this happened. They said he apologized to South Carolina. He didn't. It was a letter, and it was put out by the university. And it probably wasn't even his words. It's probably the university trying to do a PR cover-up for his horrible. I mean, you lose by what, 14?
Yeah,
I believe is what it was. You're on your last second. He was doing anything he could to try and steal their thunder. He handshook before the game. His own girl, who he complained before the fourth quarter that, oh, she had her shirt ripped, so they're not calling all the fouls. She ripped her own shirt. I mean, he looked like he had egg on his face when all the facts were revealed on this. Gino Auriemma should be ashamed, and he didn't even want to apologize. He said he had no regrets after the game. He said, I have no regrets. And guess what? You should have regrets. You should have a video apology, not a letter. I mean, come on. Really?
Do you think
it's a shame that he's the biggest women's basketball coach of all time. He is eclipsed at Summit, and this is how he wants to act. He's not a sportsman. And how is that an example for his girls that are going to college?
Do you think that's going to tarnish his legacy by acting this way?
No.
You don't think so? Winning covers it all?
Winning covers it all. It just covers it all up. You know, Bobby Knight, we still know that Bobby Knight had great teams because he was a winner.
Wow. Yeah, it just stinks because that's how it is. It's always been that way. People overlook stuff just because of it. But I'll tell you this, I've always kind of liked him. I've always kind of liked the way he coaches those girls and how successful he's been. You can't doubt how good of a coach he's been. But even Summit had some things to say before, before she kind of went downhill with her disease that she had. But I'll just tell you this, to me, man, I think that people are not happy with him. And, good for UCLA to go out there and win it. And they did a good job. And so did that shock you a little bit that South Carolina, coming off the emotional win to beat an undefeated UConn team, would have lost in the championship by as much as they did?
It does shock me. It kind of reminded me when Michigan State took out UConn in the Final Four and then turned around and lost to South Carolina for South Carolina's first title. I just didn't see it coming. I said, if they can beat an undefeated UConn, they're going to win it all in the final. And that definitely did not happen. UCLA girls, kudos to them because, I mean, I'm not saying this is UCLA wins at different sports, but they kind of are an all-around university, at least the top 10. They're not top 5 as far as that goes, but them getting that title, that's huge. And to not come out of the SEC or the ACC or be UConn is huge.
Yeah, well, you're exactly right. We got 1 minute left, Jeffrey. Give me your score and prediction for tonight's game.
Michigan by 11. I want to talk about a couple other little things. Angel Reese got traded to the Atlanta Dream for the WNBA. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
I know how you love college or WNBA.
Yeah, I know you're getting an Atlanta Dream shirt pressed out, ready to go.
No, I'm not. Never. But Kirk Cignetti is kind of doubling down on the quarterback transfer from TCU. His name's Hoover.
Yep.
Another transfer. Can he be a Heisman?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're going to talk tomorrow about a lot of these topics. Jeffrey, thank you so much for being on. Be careful. Eat something good. You've been listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. We will see you tomorrow. Now, NCAA College National Championship right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Your home for college basketball, ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the 2026 NCAA Men's College Basketball Championship tonight. The Michigan Wolverines versus